Dr. Mark Skolnick and Dr. Pique Meldrum hold more degrees, titles, and awards than most. However, the fact that they have helped thousands of people to live healthy lives is undoubtedly their greatest success. Mark and Pique's lives can be best told through the story of the founding of their company, Myriad Genetics, the global leader in the field of molecular diagnostics. Today, Myriad employs 1,000 people, is a pioneer in genetic research, owns dozens of patents, and is publicly traded on the NASDAQ. But it didn't start this way. So how did such a formidable Utah-based company come to be? It all began in 1991, when the scientific world was in the midst of a full-blown race to find a gene. That's when a businessman went to see a scientist.
I've always been fascinated by genetics, and so I wanted to start a new company around the sequencing of the Human Genome Project that would focus on the way genes interact and cause human disease. So I went up to the University of Utah to see one of the noted geneticists up there, Dr. Mark Skolnick.
I had decided that I wanted to create a company. Pete had been CEO of an agricultural biotech company, so he knew what I was doing and he knew the technology. So he came and sought me out. And I had, as I said, had already decided what type of company I wanted, what I wanted to do, and so that's how it started.
There were 16 major labs throughout the world that were looking for the breast cancer gene. The gene had been linked to chromosome 17 by Dr. Mary Claire King, and everybody was madly searching chromosome 17, trying to find it.
I liken it to a race that's begun when you decide to build your car. So, you know, the gun had fired, the cars were all zoomed out on the track and were taken off, and we started rolling out tires and a frame and an engine, started putting it together. So we were assembling the team and racing at the same time, and it was very exciting.
We were very fortunate in that Mark and I really hit it off almost from the beginning. We had a healthy respect for what the other person could do. Mark was a scientist, he was brilliant, and he discovered the first techniques for gene mapping. I was a businessman and saw a way maybe we could commercialize the research that he was doing.
The challenge was to find the money, which we did, create the company, find the money, and then create the team. Pete had been a CEO and was very excited about being the CEO of this company. I'm a scientist, I'm still a scientist, didn't want to run the company. So that was a natural division. I think we have an extremely good relationship.
We had newspapers from all over the world calling us about the discovery.
The media grabbed onto it, and it became the iconic race.
When you discover the gene after working on it for years and years, that when you actually did find it, it was almost more of a relief, and you let out a sigh rather than a hurrah.
The main emotion that I remember is relief. Relief that it was over. Win, lose, or tie. We were charted to be the losers, so we were an underdog, and it's very exciting. It is still in the hands of companies like Myriad to change the face of medicine, and I think with the technologies we have in hand, we will change the face of medicine.
What's interesting is the actual strategy and vision of Myriad Genetics has not changed in the 19 years. We still believe very strongly that there is going to be a shift in medicine from a treatment paradigm to a prevention paradigm. And we think that not only will benefit patients, but it'll benefit the healthcare system.
I think often of how many samples come through, not in terms of the economics, but in terms of the people who are helped every day. We're helping hundreds of people a day understand their genetic predisposition to various common cancers, especially breast ovarian cancer. And there's more that we can help people with. But it's a huge satisfaction. If you were to ask me what's the greatest satisfaction, it's seeing the number of people who are being tested per day.
Congratulations to Dr. Mark Skolnick and Dr. Pique Meldrum, 2009 inductees into the Utah Technology Council Hall of Fame.